Hi guys, so today I have this makeup tutorial for you. This is more sort of a chatty video. This is just focused around cat eye liner, which is quite sort of dramatic and bold, with a really nice pop of sort of sparkle in the inner corner and a really nice highlighted face and a sort of peachy orangey lip. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see how I got this look, then please carry on watching. So I've already applied my foundation, as I'm doing first impressions on the foundation that I've got on, and that is the Dior Star foundation. So I'm just going to start by filling in my eyebrows, and this is a new product of mine. This is the Benefit Browsings. I don't actually use the little tools that come in this. I just use my MAC 266 angled brush. So first I'm just going to brush through my brows as I normally would. I also tinted my brows as well, I don't know if you can tell. Then the lady at Benefit waxed them for me. So I just start by taking the waxy side first, and I just fill in my brows how I usually would. I'm not going to bore you, as I could do a updated eyebrow routine with this product if you'd like me to. So I'm just going to sort of skip through this part. The lady at Benefit recommended me this colour, as my other eyebrow products that I was using were a little bit too red toned. I know my hair is sort of like purpley red, but it just looked far too sort of red for my eyebrow hairs. So this is the eyebrow kit in dark. This isn't a new product of mine, as you would have seen this loads of times on my channel, but I'm just going to sculpt my brows with the Collection Last Infection Concealer, and this is in Fair, which is number 1. I actually done my eyebrows quite quick today, and normally my eyebrows are the thing that takes the longest, but that literally took me about 5 to 10 minutes, and that's really good for me. I'm now just going to prime my eyes as usual. I'm just using my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I know this is not a new product either, but I always just do this step when I apply my eyeshadow or when I apply my makeup. Now just setting that in place with my MUA eyeshadow in the shade Fudge, and this is just the base shadow that I apply, as it's just a sort of skin tone shade, and this is just to help my other eyeshadows blend out seamlessly. So the palette I'm going to be using today is my Morphe Brushes Jaclyn Hill palette, and obviously I've used this loads of times, but I've never used it on camera before, so it's sort of a new product. So the shade that I'm going to start off with is this really beautiful orangey sort of papaya shade here. And it's not picking up on camera how nice it is, but I'm just going to be applying that into my crease. Once that's applied, I'm just going over with a fluffy brush just to blend out the harsh lines. So I just take that around sort of the edge of the eyeshadow just to blend it in even more. Next up, I'm taking this warmer shade here, which is really similar to MAC's Uninterrupted eyeshadow, and if you watch my videos then you'll know I absolutely love that eyeshadow. So I'm just taking that on a fluffy angled brush from eBay and just applying that to the outer part of my eye, and then just taking the brush we originally used and just blending that in. I find this brush really nice to pack on colour and to apply to sort of the outer part of my eye, and then I like to use a fluffier brush to blend it in. Warm looks are probably like my favourite to do on myself, as I just think that it really helps complement my green eyes. To deepen up the eye a bit, I'm just taking this shade here, which is more of a sort of warmer brown with slight sort of orange undertones to it, and I'm just applying that where we applied the last shadow. And then just taking a clean fluffy brush and blending that in. I'm then just taking my MAC 217 brush just to buff out any harsh edges. I'm literally just taking this where we applied this shadow. This is literally my favourite ever blending brush, basically. For my inner corner, I'm going to be taking a shadow from Natural Collection. This is literally the most beautiful gold champagne-y shade. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm just taking that on a Real Techniques accent brush, and I'm just applying this to the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to make this quite sort of intense in the inner corner, as I do want this to look really nice and sort of summery and glam. And then just taking that on my finger and sort of dabbing it just to make the colour even more intense. And then just going to be highlighting my brow bone as well with that shadow. And then just taking my brush again and just blending in case we got some of that eyeshadow into the crease. So I'm just brushing that away, as I want this part of the eye to be quite nice and matte, and then I want a nice bit of shimmer on the brow bone and then a pop of shimmer in the inner corner. I'm then just going to curl my eyelashes. I'm then just going to apply some winged liner, and I like to map out my wing with black eyeshadow first, as if you mess up you can just wipe it away, whereas if you was to go in with like your liquid liner first, it would take ages to clean up and it would probably end up being really messy. And as you can see, I've already messed that up, so I'm literally just going to take a clean eyeshadow brush and just swipe that way. I'm really sorry if you can hear someone hammering outside. I don't know who it is. I think it's one of my neighbours and it's really annoying me. So I'm sorry if you can hear that, and I'm sorry if it's distracting. And I've now got hiccups. So I've applied a little bit of my liquid liner to the outer parts over my wing, and I'm just going to apply the rest of it to the inner part of my eye, but I'm applying it really thin so we get that nice cat eye effect, as obviously, as you can tell, this liner is really thick. The reason I'm applying it quite thin in the inner corner is so we don't take the attention away from that nice bright inner corner. I'm just applying it really thin in there. It doesn't matter if this part here is quite thick, because obviously you're just creating the cat eyes. It's just the inner part that you've got to keep quite thin, which when you're applying eyeliner is quite hard to do. So I sort of really messed up on my eyeliner today, but I'm just going to show you how you can sort of clean it up. All I do is take a concealer, and this is actually a new concealer, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Literally all I do is dot a bit next to the liner like so, and then I just take my concealer brush and I just blend that, but I take it right next to the wing. And this is literally just how I clean up my liner. And then I just drag it upwards. And then I just blend that in with my finger. I blend that in downward motions, or strokes, whatever you want to say. And it doesn't matter if you accidentally put the concealer on the liner where you don't want it to be, as you just go back over with the liner or with your brush. And that is literally just how I sharpen my liner up and clean it up, really. For the parts that I can't fit my finger into, I just take a brush and I literally just sweep it over. Ta-da! And I just apply this before I apply my falsies, as I don't want to get any concealer on the false eyelashes, as that would obviously be really hard to clean up. As you can see on this side of my eye, this wing is a little bit thicker, so I'm just going to fill it out by dragging some of the concealer closer in. So that's my liner all applied and cleaned up and everything, and I sort of made it a little bit thicker. So for the mascara I'm going to be using today, I'm using my new mascara, and I have used this in a video before, but it is still new to me. And this is the Rimmel Wake Me Up, and this is the Wonderful one, and this is the one that has cucumber in, and it just smells amazing. So I'm just applying that to my lashes, and this will just help the falsies blend in to my natural lashes. The lashes that I'm going to be using today are the Eyelure 140s, and these are really beautiful with the cat eye as they fan out at the end, so it really complements the winged liner. So I'm just going to apply these off camera and I'll be right back, as I am going to be filming a how I apply my false lashes video soon, so I just don't want to make this video really long. Okay, so as you can tell, I've applied my false lashes, and now what I'm going to do is highlight underneath my eyes and the rest of my face, and then after that I'm going to apply the eyeshadow on my lower lash line, because if you apply it before your concealer, then when you go in with the concealer, then it's just going to basically take away what you've just applied. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with some concealer to highlight my face. Okay, so I've got quite a few to choose from. I've got the Maybelline Fit Me, which I used to clean up my eyebrows and my wing. And then I've got the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age, the Eraser Eye. And this says Perfect and Cover Concealer, and that is in the shade Nude. The Maybelline Fit Me is in the shade 10, by the way. And then I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Warm. And I've only used this a couple of times, so I don't really know which one I want to go for. I'm not sure if this is too dark for me, as in my boots, this was literally the only colour they had, and yeah, this is Nude. I am going to just try this out. Let's give it a go and see if it's actually the right shade. It might be okay, because obviously I have fake tan on. I want this to be a more sort of chatty sort of video, as they're my sort of favourite makeup tutorials to watch on YouTube, but I just know that when I come to edit this, I'm just going to get sick of the sound of my own voice. Ooh. So you just twist this. I've had the foundation one of this before that I had like years ago when I was younger.
2,000 years later, 6.5 hours later,
Nothing's
a few
coming
inches
out.
later, day 2, a few moments later.
Oh, okay. I just pressed it and some came out. That's actually an alright colour, to be honest. I couldn't wear this colour when I'm not fake tanned, basically. I like the sort of applicator on my skin. It feels really nice and like cushiony. This is nice as it's not like too over the top. I'm just going to blend that in with my damp beauty blender. Although this is wet, I do just go over it with like a setting spray, just to help the concealer last a bit longer. That is quite bright, but I just want to go over it a little bit with my Urban Decay concealer. I know that that is quite sort of more yellow toned and really brightening. So this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. As you can tell, this is a lot lighter. I do like the other concealer though, it's just, I think, a bit too sort of dark for the brightening look that I like. Nice consistency though. Doesn't feel sort of heavy under the eyes, and neither does this concealer, so they're sort of like the perfect combination for underneath the eyes. So now that concealer's nice and blended in, I'm just going to cream contour, and I'm just using my Makeup Revolution, the One Blush Stick. And this isn't a new product, I've used this on my channel a couple of times before, and this is in the shade Matte Malibu. Although I have got oily skin, I do really like using cream products in the summertime. I'm just going to blend that in with my little brush from Primark. Blend that really well in your hairline. You don't want to have like a white hairline and then like the rest of your head be really sort of tan. If I've gone a bit too far down on my cheek, I then just take the Maybelline Fit Me concealer again and I just sharpen that contour up, as I find the Urban Decay one far too light underneath here and it just looks far too harsh. Take my beauty blender again. Using my beloved Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, I'm then just going to set the concealer in place, just underneath my eyes with the banana shade. This will just help keep the brightness and set the product in place and prevent it from creasing. I then just take this shade here, which is called Vanilla, and I just apply that underneath the contour. I'm talking really funny. Chin, Cupid's bow, also on my forehead. And I just mix a bit of the banana shade in my forehead. For my nose, I like to take a bit of the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and I just focus a little bit of that on the top of my nose. So look like this top part here and just around this part. And that is literally like the only part of my face that I'll powder is around my nose, because that's just mainly where I get oily, and just this little part of my forehead here and this part of my chin. To set my contour in place, I'm using the Maybelline Master Sculpt, and mine is in the shade Medium Dark. And it's just got a really nice highlighter and the contour shade. And then also when you flip this part up, it actually has a mirror and a little brush. And this is the brush. The brush actually reminds me of the brush that you get with the Milani Baked blushes. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this onto the brush and just set that contour. Okay, maybe I used a little bit too much, but we'll blend it out, it's fine. I actually really like the brush for this, and I think the brush is perfect for like your nose. It's a very cool shadow as well. It's quite sort of grey, which is perfect for contouring, especially as it's a drugstore contour kit, as some drugstore ones can be quite sort of orangey, and obviously that doesn't look very natural. My makeup never looks natural, but hey ho. Just taking a little bit of that around my temples and a little bit underneath my lip. Okay, so I'm now just going to take my NARS Eater brush and just blend that a little bit more. Flip the brush over this side, as I find this side the best side for blending. I'm now just going to bronze up my skin, and I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Give Me Sun, as this is my favourite bronzer. And I like to look really nice and bronze for the summertime. And I don't apply that to my contour, I just apply it sort of around it, if that makes sense. Just swirl it around my face. For blusher, I've got 3 to choose from, and I've got 2 Natural Collection ones and then 1 from Clinique. First one I got from Natural Collection was the pink cloud one, and I already own this, so I just picked up another. And then I got the shade Peach Melba, as I've heard a lot of people on YouTube talk about this and say it's really nice. And then the one I got from Clinique was the Clinique Cheek Pop Blush Pop, and this is in 03 Berry Pop. Pop, pop, pop. How many times can I say pop? And this is literally the most beautiful blusher ever. I mainly just bought it because it's a little flower and it's so adorable. I think today I'm going to go for the Peach Melba one, as I think that's a little bit too pink for what I'm going for today. So I'm going to use that in an upcoming tutorial, I think. And I'm just applying this on my Primark powder foundation brush. I'm just applying this to the apples of my cheeks and then blending it back into my contour. For highlighter, I'm going to be using the highlighter from the Master Sculpt kit from the Maybelline one. And I'm just taking my e.l.f. bronzing brush and just sweeping that in that and just applying that to my cheekbones. This is a quite subtle sort of highlight. And that's the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow. And it's not really that intense, but it's really nice and subtle if you're going for that. So all I'm going to do is just go back into that Natural Collection eyeshadow, as I use this as a highlighter like yesterday, and it's literally amazing. So I'm just going to sweep my brush into this and just make the highlight a little bit more intense. Don't know if you can see that. Just gives the most beautiful highlight to the face. I'm now just going to finish off the eyes, and I'm just going to apply that same sort of papaya shade to the lower lash line, and I'm just applying this on a small sort of eyeshadow brush. And I'm not taking it all the way into my inner corner, as I want to keep that really nice and bright. I just take it into sort of this far into my eye, if that makes sense. I then just take that shade that we applied onto the outer part of the eye earlier, and I just take that and mix it in with the other shadow. I just focus this one on more sort of the outer part of my lower lash line. This just really helps give some more sort of definition to the eye. And to finish it off, I just take this warm brown shade that we applied into the outer part of the eye earlier, and I just run that along. And as you can see, building the colours up just really helps give a lot of definition to the eye and gives a really nice blended look. I'm just taking more of that Natural Collection eyeshadow and just building it up a little bit more in the inner part of my eye, as I have lost a little bit of pigmentation due to applying the other shadows. And I just sort of blend it into that lower lash line, and this will just really help open the eye up. Now just applying some mascara to my bottom lashes. I'm just ignoring these lashes that are like closer to my inner corner, just so again we don't take away attention from the inner corner highlight. To line my lips, I'm using the Kiko Smart Lip Pencil in the number 702. This is just a really nice orangey corally shade. I also set my brows off camera, and I just use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. And for the lips, I'm using this Clinique lipstick, and this is the Clinique Pop lip colour, and it also has a primer in it as well. And this is in 05 Melon Pop. And this literally has such beautiful packaging. And this is it here. I'm just applying this to the sort of centre of my lips. That literally feels so nice and creamy and moisturising on your lips. I'm now just setting my face with the Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray, and this is the oil control one. And this is the finished look. So that wraps up this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have tried any of these products or own any of them, then please let me know in the comments of what you thought of them. And if you are thinking of purchasing any of these products, please leave any video requests in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video and want to see more upcoming videos from me, and I'll see you in my next one. So take care, bye! It did make my skin look really nice and healthy.